Hey, it's Pierre. I have a review for you today of the Oliver Power Boost 8.0. Power Boost 8.0 from Oliver. Thanks to Pete from Oliver for sending me this racket to test out and review for everybody. So this is part of their club line. The Oliver's rackets are broken into, I think it's called the professional line and the club line, and the professional line are the ones that you can order online and around the world, and the club line, as the name suggests, is reserved for sales in clubs. This is a club racket, so you can't actually buy this unless you buy it from a club who stocks Oliver. But Pete had one of these lying around and said, hey, give this one a test as well. So I have given it a reasonably thorough test. I actually played with it just today in a match in about 5 or 6 games, and also had a long hit with it a few days ago. Last week I did not play squash, an unusual break. I was in London, not for squash, for my regular life, for my job, but and I didn't get to play any squash. So I was a little rusty coming back, and potentially the Power Boost 8.0 bore the brunt of my feeling out of practice. So it's a traditional head shape, the beam across the middle there, and it is, in terms of the specs, let's see, got a balance of 37 centimeters on the balance beam. That's been the case. It was a little bit less than that. I just rounded up to 37. It was more than 36 and a half. So head heavy, bottom line. And that's what all the Oliver rackets that I've tested. This is the last one that I'm going to be testing in this go around. And they've all been on the head heavy side, 37 centimeters or thereabouts, which is, I like that head, a little bit of head heavy feeling. It's not particularly heavy. It is 151 and a half grams, which is, I think the other Oliver rackets were a little bit lighter, but this is still pretty light, pretty maneuverable. In terms of the stiffness, I'm going to do a video right after this. Well, I don't know when this will be published, but I'm going to record it right after this of how I measure the stiffness, which I don't know if it's really all that valid, although it seems to be consistent. So the hertz, the stiffness of this is 144 hertz, which is pretty soft, not stiff. So in terms of how it played, you know, I don't know if it was the strings or just something about the racket setup. I wasn't getting a lot of feel on this racket, both in terms of, you know, it was working well enough when I was hitting for power, although it didn't have a ton of power as I was playing with it, and I had trouble figuring out the control side of this too. So I had a little bit of a tough time with this one, and it's a pretty basic and popular shape, and I think if I just stuck with it a little bit, that it would turn out to be a decent racket. But I believe it's probably just that I wanted it to be a little stiffer, and that's my guess. Possibly the strings as well. I would have liked to. I've been playing with a stiffer and fairly heavy racket, so this kind of, I wasn't able to kind of, even though it's a little head heavy, I still didn't feel like when I came through and hit the ball that it was a solid contact, and it could just be because I'm a little rusty. But anyway, that was my impression of it. But I wanted to put this review together. I'll also show you the cosmetics. So it actually looks pretty cool. I think the Oliver rackets look cool. We got kind of a royal blue, I guess you could call it, black and white, nano Eplan technology. That's what the NET stands for. And we've got an Oliver grip on there. There's the Oliver racket logo. What else can I show you here? yeah, that's basically it. Part of the Oliver Club range, traditional head shape, and so give it a shot and let me know what you think. This is the Oliver Power Boost 8.0. Yeah, I'll take a few shots after the end of this video, so for the people that always want to see me hit with it, just to get an impression of how it looks. All right, thanks a lot.